because recording to the cloud is how we operate, and we don't have Dominic to do his normal "Are you recording?" But yes, we are. This is 2021. So as we look back to 2020, we saw a dramatic change in how we operated, where we all went from work from home, or is that living at the office? I found myself remotely supporting a remote IT support team who are remotely supporting remote workers. 2020 saw a dramatic change. This is 2021, or should we call that 2020.1 or 2020 plus? Still feels like it's not really a new year, but welcome to episode number 18 of Solve. Last year, we had 17 episodes of Solve, and we had 5 Solve tanks where we get a vendor on and grill them, get a demo. Welcome again. My name's Colin McCarthy, and I'm here with my esteemed colleagues from around the US, North America, and often further afield. So today we're going to talk about our New Year's resolutions, our New Year's SaaSolutions, what we want to do, what we want to change in 2021. I will start, if that's okay with everybody. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining, taking time out of your Friday afternoon. Here in North America, it's often a lazy afternoon before the holiday weekend here. So I'm Colin McCarthy. The New Year saw a change for me. I no longer work for an advertising agency. I now work for a managed service company that supports an advertising agency. I got absorbed by my parent company. So I'm now working for my parent company, providing IT support for the company that I used to work for, technically. One of my big SaaSOps, SaaS resolution is going to be to say no to attachments. We shouldn't be sending email attachments backwards and forwards. If you want me to collaborate on a document, don't send me an email attachment asking me to complete it and send it back to you. It's an antiquated thing, and I think we should all sign the pledge and stamp that horrible tradition out. So let's open it up to the floor.
Change that petition for that.
Pardon? And it'll be an online petition, yes. Yeah. So there are some documents, obviously PDFs, something else that's more static, that you might need a physical, either somebody to read or to, as Justine has put in the chat, asking a question. You could always unmute and ask. And obviously,
I want to interrupt you.
Yeah, there are lots of emails. There are lots of document signing software platforms out there.
There's not very many legitimate reasons to use an attachment, though.
No.
And for the most part, when you stop trying to use attachments, you know what those reasons are.
I just mean that I don't, there's probably a SaaS solution that solves this for lawyers, but the redlining situation of going back and forth, that I have a hard time seeing that happen outside of attachments.
Yeah, there will be some scenarios where attachments will still have to take place. Redlining.
Wouldn't it be amazing if our contract management software did that for us?
Wouldn't it be amazing if lawyers just agreed to
lay that out there as
use
an open opportunity?
Wouldn't it be amazing if lawyers just agreed to use Google Docs like the rest of us?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Or Word online, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
Hot takes from Brian.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think kind of what Rose is saying and Blair, the different platforms that do electronic signature, I would love to see a redlining feature in a lot of Adobe Sign, DocuSign, HelloSign, all of these platforms. I don't think this is going to be that hard to.
Well, and we have an actual contract management system and DocuSign, and it also doesn't do redlining.
You have Ironclad that does all the storing.
Well, yeah, we have something called Agila, but not that I love it. It's not an endorsement.
I think we should take it one step further. All of us that have email platforms, we should either go right into the actual the settings of our email platforms, or use something like Material Security to actually remove emails that have attachments. Let's just take it one step further. Anyone who successfully
no, you can't have those attachments.
That would be an amazing compliance rule to strip out all the attachments and send a bounce back saying, I'm sorry, this
Don't
user does
send the
not accept attachments.
There's no reason that something like G Suite couldn't have some sort of filter where it's use Google Drive, right? So anything incoming automatically gets moved to a drive. You just open the link, and anything outgoing, the same thing. There's no reason that doesn't exist.
Yeah. So that's my big SaaS solution for 2021, 2020.1. Who has another SaaS solution?
I'll go. My SaaS solution for this year is
You have
to
to
build.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who are you?
Oh,
Who are you, sir?
Yes.
okay. I'm sorry.
Who's going? Who dis?
I'm Mike Stone. I'm the SaaSOps community. I guess the director of the SaaSOps community, if you want to call it that. I work for Better Cloud, and my SaaS solution is to build a product to help lawyers with redlining. So when I have that ready, I'll let you all know.
My
Are you
company
branded
is
as
since
SaaSOps?
we're
Is this
the
mean
20
you're
law firm.
SaaSOps?
2020 was SOCOps. 2021 is this new
Redline
product.
contracts.
That's
getting
right.
serious.
SOCOps failed. So
Legal ops.
Redline is what we have.
Well, there were too many
Go
red
ops.
lines for SaaSOps to deal with. There's no way to like get all
Exactly.
the legal stuff done. So one step at a time.
That's right.
I also want to point out that we should have multiple colors accepted. Blue lines, yellow lines. I think we should get them all in there.
You're so right.
What
That's
about like a GeoCities line that like you make a line and it just always changes colors?
If the lines are pink, it's sarcasm.
Ryan, you're gonna need to submit a feature request.
Get a party line, strobing different colors.
That's right.
It's interesting
It's on the
fact, you can
roadmap.
change your red line color in Word to whatever color you want. So you're not stuck with red.
No, we did.
Also,
All right. For real though, my SaaS solutions are all around the community. So, adding more value to the community, getting more people involved, making sure people are engaged, creating all these cool programs. So be on the lookout for that. But that's what I got. I'll pass it along to whoever's next, Colin.
Who wants to speak up?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll go next. I'm a nobody. My name is Hiram. I'm a SaaSOps engineer from Workiva.
And a SaaSOps star.
I was gonna say you're an award winner. Excuse you.
Well,
I'm just a normal person. My SaaS solutions are I want you guys even closer to making a centralized admin console in Slack for other platforms. That's taking forever, but that relies on my other SaaS solution. I'm terrible with that word, which is to get more dev certifications in other platforms.
like which platforms are on your list?
Okta, Slack. I was actually a little upset about Okta's because I wanted to get some of the other certs, but that's a different story. But they have a discount going for their dev cert, and it's like I think $50. So I was like, haha, I'm gonna take advantage of that. So Okta, Slack, pretty much anything that's a big one for my company specifically, but also has, of course, an API, which I wish for 2021, let's get more APIs. Come on, let's do it.
Yes. Excellent. Yes, APIs should be a standard. We've discussed this. Rose wrote a little booklet about it, a pamphlet about.
We can't get
using
companies to
your-
adopt SAML. Like I feel like APIs it's going to take some time.
Yeah, my SaaS solution
Baby
is never
steps.
to sign another contract that doesn't have SAML included at the base price.
Ryan, I'm working on it.
I
Good
just
things to come with vendor management this year at Better Cloud.
we've made good steps too, in that I now have a very like shameful email for like pre-made
A
email
template?
that I can send people. That's like, hey, here are all these companies that do this for free. Do you think that you're better than them? Because I don't know. Anyway.
I will sign on to that.
You could ask them what is the value add that they provide by charging for a service that another company is providing for free. What's different, what's better about their paid service.
I've had both extremes. I've had to negotiate a contract where we would pay an extra sum for them to develop SAML into their product because it's a security requirement on our side. And then I've had another company tell us that SAML is a deprecated technology. They're not going to support it.
What?
What did they propose was the next version? Like what's
I mean, they wanted
passwords?
They wanted OpenID or something like that, but
OpenID.
But come on, it's an industry standard. You didn't go with them.
I'll go next while we're talking about BetterCloud. So, hi, my name is Blair. I'm on the solutions engineering team here at BetterCloud. So I do a lot of pre-sales architecture and stuff like that. Part of that is having
one of us, and that's why he's here.
Yes, I used to be in IT and went through the whole let's buy BetterCloud experience, and then got laid off, and then joined BetterCloud. So here we are. No, but part of that is in part of the pre-sales thing is having a demo environment of BetterCloud that's connected to M365 and G Suite and Zoom and all this other stuff. And that's great. We've had that for a while and it's awesome. But you can clearly tell that the people that built it are BetterCloud experts and not IT experts necessarily, right? Like there's like little things like how directories are set up and the way you would use certain apps and why you would have a certain group in a certain app, but not that group replicated, and like little things. So I'm going through and cleaning that up, and then scale. Like we had 400 some odd users in it. Now I've got like almost 20,000 users in it, right? So I'm going through and just like, hey, look, like we can do all this stuff. But I bring it up because I've done these like directory true ups and rolling out, you know, automation platforms. Like I've done these projects before, right? Combining or talking about SAML, connecting SAML to things, right? But it's always been attached to people, like real people. Nobody in my environment exists. So I'm running into things that like I never would have run into before. Like I need to populate users, you know, simulated obviously, but users logging into OAuth, right? Okay, I have to, you can't simulate that. Like I have to log in with OAuth. Like that's how that works. So how do I do that over 10,000 users when those people don't exist? Stuff like that, where it's like, oh, I've dealt with the exact opposite of this problem before. Now I never thought about this before. So yeah, that's my project for like the first half of this year. It's fun.
It's going to take a lot of clicks to get to that.
You what?
It's going to take you a lot of clicks to get through all those accounts and logins.
Sounds like you need a BetterCloud botnet.
Yeah, I've looked into like the Chrome like screen record apps, right, where it like records your clicks and just let it go. So we'll see if I can get there. Just change everyone's password to the same thing and just let it run. We'll see. We'll see.
Excellent. As long as it doesn't get to the state like in Silicon Valley where you're hiring a bunch of people in a far off land to remotely sign up. And
that's why Fiverr exists, right? I can just hire a couple of people to do this for me. There's no security threats in that.
Yes. If we see some ads on the BetterCloud site for some interns, we know what's happening. It's a great SaaS solution for 2020.1. Who's next? Who else has got something they want to do?
I can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Brian Kim, service delivery manager with Strata Prime. So I guess towards the end of the year, I had a change in role. So I have few people reporting to me now, and we have someone new joining us. So I think a lot of the, I guess, first half of the year will be providing training, doing a lot of knowledge transfer to basically transfer everything I know about GAM to a second person. So if I could clone myself, I will, but I can't.
Is that possible? Because don't you know everything about GAM?
No. I think
everything about GAM.
Mike called me a GAM wizard, but as I said, or to borrow my boss's word, Ross is Gamdolf, and I'm just doing his bidding.
I got to get off this call. We peaked. That's it. Yeah. We're done here. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a great show. See you, everybody.
Yeah, and aside from that, we are also in the process of getting a new CRM integrated. So it'll be a lot of work towards that. So doing standard things like making sure it's SPF, DKIM, DMARC, all the SAML, OAuth, all the fun stuff, making sure it's done properly. So we just do it once, making sure everything is secure, and also getting some processes outlined so that we get some maybe Beyond Corp or zero touch setup, or not zero touch, zero trust security setup, so that we are more secure in terms of handling our customers' data. And hopefully it'll be a good year for 2021.
Excellent. I know that you are an expert in GAM, because I'm sure all of the GAM knowledge base just says see Brian.
Or Steve. I just do ask myself, what would Steve do? And I just follow his footsteps.
I also often ask myself, what would Steve do?
Just type in "man Brian" and comes up. All the information comes up.
Excellent, excellent.
I guess with that, I'll jump in. I'm Randy Tannenhouse. I'm the IT manager at ClassPass. I don't know if you've heard, there's this little pandemic thing going around. So we are certainly challenged by that as all the studios are closed, and that is our marketplace, and that's who we partner with. So for us, it's all about being as cost efficient as we can and being smart with spend. And that is where my mind is continuing to go to try and save every penny I can. So I'm looking forward to using some of the tools at in my arsenal, including a wonderful new one from BetterCloud, where I can go find myself some duplicate services and start to get rid of some spend on SaaS where we're spending in wasteful places and ridiculous ways. So that's a big one. And then there's some additional ties to that go into security. I'm looking to beef up and get even better and tighter around security. So that is where my mind is completely involved and swarmed with, but I am excited to put to use all the tools in my arsenal.
It will be very interesting to see what you discover using.
Yes, it will be.
Tool. I wonder what you would do when you discover them.
Yes,
5 more times. You got to get it 7 times in an ad in order for it to stick in someone's mind. So then we can complete the contract, and BetterCloud can pay you for this podcast advertisement.
Yeah, you need to beef it up. Come on, the word cloud isn't there enough.
Discover, discover, discover.
Discover, not the credit card. Discover.
Excellent. And that was, of course, you're from ClassPass, not ClassPass.
Well, it depends. I mean, we are in the UK, so we're perfectly fine with that.
Okay. I'm kidding.
Dominic, as your zip has just introduced you.
Is it a zipper?
I'm going to go next because the zipper was loud.
We weren't acknowledging it. I just thought we were going to just let it fly.
That's why I prefer Google Meet, because that would have you wouldn't have heard it there.
There's noise canceling in Zoom too. You just got to sign in for it.
We should have a counter how many times Dominic recommends Google Meet over Zoom in a given call, because I feel like there should be like a record or something kept.
I'm actually that kind of guy who declines meeting with Zoom links and sends a different one.
So is that your official New Year's SaaSolution?
No more Zoom.
Annoying everyone with Meet, yeah.
Not that I don't like Meet. It's just.
Are we going to start this fight right now? Guys, this is the first meeting of the year. Come on.
No, don't do it.
You started it. I didn't.
Yes.
I just mentioned that it wouldn't have happened somewhere else.
All right, let's stay on topic. We've got about 20 minutes left.
The SaaS solution, 2021.
You also have to introduce yourself.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Co-founder, 22D Consulting, cloud partner for Google G Suite. We have been a G Suite reseller, and we only have a couple of them left. We're only doing Google Workspace from now on. And SaaS solution, well, building a great SaaS solution for one of our customers, I guess. Trying our best here. Well, doing it in German and in the American way.
Excellent. So in inches and centimeters, I'm sure it will fit seamlessly together.
I hope.
Both with precision and making shit up as you go.
This is the way.
Lots of the latter.
Excellent.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris, what are you working on in early 2021?
Hey, buddy. Basically everything you said.
No, there's one thing I'm thinking of.
I'm assuming the topic here is about SaaS projects for 2021.
Well, yeah, it was New Year's SaaSolutions, things that you would want to do differently, change, I guess.
Colin wants to get rid of email attachments in case anybody
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yeah.
I've seen that one. I'm all for that, by the way. For those who don't know me, I'm Chris Walker. I'm the Enterprise Solutions Engineer. It is day 599 with Better Cloud. I'm super pumped to be a part of this call. For SaaSolutions, I'm actually working on a top secret project. Rhymes with Measure Mel, maybe PowerShell. We'll see. I'm excited about it. It's something I've been working on for quite some time now. The last 3 months of 2020, actually. And we're looking at extending some opportunities in the Azure automation space to further extend out PowerShell commandlets that would allow you to maybe tap into an on-premise environment, a hybrid environment from Better Cloud. So stay tuned on that. Can't say much more. That's basically where I've been living and breathing. I actually got laughed at today at the gym this morning. I was deadlifting like, I don't know, 375 pounds while reading my Azure DevOps book. Just learning more about Azure and PowerShell. And this guy comes up to me and he goes, "Bro, are you studying and lifting?" And I was like, I am. He's like, "What are you reading about?" I was like, APIs. And he was like, "Bro, that's like legendary." I was like, "Thanks. Stop taking pictures of me."
Do you even mentally lift?
Yeah, I'm getting swole on SaaSolutions, so to speak.
Somewhere there's going to be an amazing TikTok is going to be released.
I was going to say, yeah, you're going to become an internet.
Yeah, stay tuned. It's coming. I'm sure I'll be on the internet today.
That project sounds very interesting, and sign us up as an alpha tester for that.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Excellent.
I'll go next. I'll go next. I was not at the gym this morning. Deadlifting, whatever it was, didn't happen. Hey everyone, I'm Jesse Nolan. I am the CEO, sorry, not CEO, let me try that again. CIO of the Westland Real Estate Group and podcast host of Google Workspace Recap and supporting IT support. My SaaS solution, is that what it is? Goal this year is to consolidate and to automate. We're trying to consolidate into various different services, whereas in the past we've had, 3 different document signing solutions. So getting rid of all of those and unifying into one, and automate. We're going to be building out or rebuilding a existing automation engine that we have on the back end to tie some of our more obscure services together and finish getting everything legacy into the cloud and get all of that automated based on moves of people, because we're very spread out. We have a lot of locations all over the place, and so people move around and things don't regularly get updated. So we script all of that, and basically just with one move in our HR system, everything happens automatically. So we're going to be ramping that up this year also.
Excellent. Yeah, automation is certainly like a continuing buzzword. Yes, make things more simplified.
Let the robots do it.
Yes, yeah, and I think with simplification comes an increased security as well. Just make things a lot easier to manage on that side. All right, there's a few people here who I know haven't spoken out. Do you want to have anything to share? I see people slightly shaking their heads.
I was just going to say hello to Haram. Haram, how you doing, dude? We've been on calls before. What's up, man?
I can go next.
How you doing? Yeah, Rose.
Jesus Christ, sorry. I'm Rose Layton. I'm a strategic technology partner in Strata Education Network. And I don't really have any resolutions because right now I am like literally underwater inside of a G Suite to G Suite migration. And Tucker is the same. And so we haven't really gotten a chance to think about what's after this. I'll be honest.
Not even like M365 to G Suite. It's just G Suite to G Suite.
It's worse. Yeah, it's worse than both of the Microsoft migrations I did. It's like, it is by far like the worst thing I've ever encountered. And I'm so angry at Google, and I still love them, which is so hard. They have so many inconsistent behaviors. It's disgusting. Yeah. If you ever want to peek behind the hood, do a G Suite to G Suite migration.
Yeah.
No thanks.
I concur and
hard pass.
I can't talk about.
The funny part is like everybody warned us. They were like, this is the worst kind of migration you'll ever do. And we were like, really? Like, how hard could it be? You're not training users how to use Google. And they were like, no, really.
No, actually just put Outlook in between the two and just start syncing.
The email part is the easiest.
The worst part of it is that our users, like from their perspective, are going to expect it to look and act and feel like their old account when we're done. And it's not. It's a new account, new data in many cases, no data in some cases.
So that qualifies as the best first world problem I've heard all week. My new Gmail account doesn't behave like my old Gmail account.
So I will say the one good thing coming out of it, and this is my best like 2021 thing that will happen, is that all of my different accounts, I have like 16, will consolidate into one or two rather, a super admin and a regular. But yes, so I will finally only have 2 accounts to log into in Google instead of 50 million. Is it 8? Is it 16? Is it 50 million? You don't know. How many do I have?
I wish we had a separate SaaS app that would count those accounts for you.
I should have a jar of jelly beans. It'd be like, how many admin accounts does Rose have?
Well, it would send you an email with an attachment that shows you how many accounts you have.
That would be difficult to manage the logins, even in something like LastPass, because it's not going to, the URL to log in is the same.
We don't want to talk about how I manage the logins, Colin.
She's got sticky notes on a board on the side of the office there.
I mean, to be fair, I work from home, so.
Just using SolarWinds123 as a known rememberable password.
So that actually is one of our our goals.
That is actually, yeah.
I'm Chris Tucker. Like Rose, I'm a strategic technology partner at Strata Education Network, and like Rose, I'm underwater with this Google fun stuff. But once we get past this, which should hopefully be this quarter, fingers crossed, we are trying to do like a password rollout. We have one password manager that we have right now. We want to do a different one that also doesn't support SAML, but does support SIM, SIM, I don't know.
It's one password for anybody who has
password, yeah. So we're switching from Bitwarden and potentially to one password, mainly because vaults are better than like password, being able to do different passwords in different vaults as opposed to all of the admins having all the passwords. So we're trying to increase our security around that as well as roll it out to more people, which is one of our goals, as well as I think, Rose, I hope I can say this, Colin, you may have to adjust, but maybe not.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No, we also want to switch we would like to roll out a different HR system if we can, to one that's much more SaaS compliant, because that's one of our fun areas as well. If we can tap into.
I'm so jealous.
Over the break, I was reminded, I did not learn, that ADP stands for Always Designing for People. And if that's not the funniest joke I have ever heard.
When did they stop? 2003?
Never.
Like, we're down here.
Never stopped. Here.
Just so you know, that is an actual acronym, and that is what it stands for.
I think it means that because if you have ADP, you will never stop designing subsystems to make up for what it can't do.
HRIS and like payroll and all that is like the last bastion for SaaS. Like once SaaS really takes off in there securely, which I get is like the biggest holdup, man, it's gonna be so nice.
We're in the process of doing that, switching over to a new HRIS, and we told them sign in with Google. Single sign-on is critical feature, and we launched Monday, and it's still not fixed. The app doesn't work. I can do it in the browser. The app just refuses. It loads the web page, doesn't actually sign into their mobile app.
Oof.
The challenge is real.
I pay attention because I work for a payroll company, so I'm like,
Right. Yes. Yeah. I know a number of companies that have these big payroll, HR, migration projects. And with my change, I did go from a modern GUI to Word 1997, where I now have to register my days off and book sick days, etc. So yeah, be interesting.
My brother complained that they have a Google sign-in on their their HR system, but it only works with Gmail accounts.
Huh?
Yes. They were like, yeah, we have Google sign-in on the promotion.
I'll take it.
But it only works with gmail.com. It doesn't do shit.
Ah, right.
HR systems are stressful.
Yes. So we've gone through migrations, HR, improvements in collaboration, API projects. That's a lot to be decided on in the first 2 weeks of 2020 plus one. Any other last?
Got some security initiatives on my side.
Yeah.
My name is Brian Wilkins. I am the stand-up comedian for Gusto. I say that because I don't want anybody to know my true title. I'm actually a scapegoat for. So we. No, I do. I bring up real issues. Like, does every pair need to be twisted? I mean, seriously, I feel like this is a waste of productivity on Ethernet cables. Dramatic.
Yeah, I think it would work without being twisted, actually.
At least one or two of them, yeah. You know, you guys say Wi-Fi. I say why not Fi? You know, like seriously.
Why not Fi?
Recently, actually, I posted about this not long ago. There's an initiative on our part, not necessarily an incident that tied to it, but an initiative on our part to see how many different applications are allowed to send emails as our domain. And the list was larger and bigger than I thought, actually. I will give a little bit of credit to Intello, who did some research on all the sheer nature of the app. Intello gives them some a clear and confidential insight into a lot of the pieces that we're working with. And they sent us back a report about these are the apps that actually have this functionality. Whether they're actually allowed to do it or not is a different story. Compared our DKIM records to see which ones we're actually allowing to represent our domain. And the list was longer than I thought, but they all have their reasons and history. And so I'm actually presenting a report later today to some of our stakeholders about like, these are all the apps that are sending emails as Gusto. And like this stuff isn't a secret. If you guys pulled up mxtoolbox.com and looked up gusto.com, you too can, see which apps we're using. I mean, this is publicly available to anybody. So
and you too can send emails as.
Yeah. So we're thinking very proactively here about like how does that actually affect our behaviors of emails coming in and out. We can send out all the emails we want. Hello, SendGrid. But all those emails, if they have our domain on them, what if everybody clicked reply? What's going to happen to our Google quotas? Stuff like that. So looking at potential, what could happen if things went weird.
Yes, I have helping a non-profit with a bit of SendGrid awareness at the moment. So Chris and Brian have others been helping me in the SaaSOps.community Slack channel, which we should talk about as one of our unofficial sponsors here at Solve. Head over to better/it.slack.com. Yes. And join the Slack channel, have conversations there.
Yeah.
I'll have a banner going across.
Most of the material of my discovery was small business growing to large business. If anybody looks at the history of Gusto, we're just right on that cusp of like, we were 300 people not long ago, now we're over 1,000 people. And so like the dynamic, everybody knows this in this channel. Everybody on the Slack call knows this. A small business behaves very differently than a large business in terms of all the decisions you make of apps available, security initiatives, how much you spend, what kind of effort you put into, so we're on that chapter cusp of like, I need to start making some different decisions.
Yeah. It's amazing that sort of not really feature creep, but infrastructure creep that you can get. And we had we did some investigation using Demartian into finding servers that were sending as our domain, and there were there were and as we started to lock down our domain with DMARC, SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, which everybody should be doing as their as a New Year's resolution for 2021. Was a lot of people sign up, will create a server, and it's like, oh, this server's got to send log files, so I'll just use postfix or something, and it'll send as no name.local to from this sort of server name to your domain. But then as you tighten down your domain, those messages won't come through. So Demartian.com is very good for investigating those records and getting a view of what is sending or what mail is being received by your domain by other domains. Very useful. All right, cool. Some great stuff. This is an exciting, jovial start to 2021 and SolveTank. I know Steve hasn't spoken. Priya, if you have a SaaS solution you want to give.
I don't know if I have a SaaS solution, but I can talk about who I am and what I've been doing. So I'm Steve Larson, former Google working at a former Google partner, and I'm working a lot on Google stuff right now. So I'm working on a podcast with Jesse, workspacerecap.com. So that is covering so we record Monday nights, and it covers all of last week's updates that Google released on their blog posts. They released 244 posts last year, so there's pretty much one every business day coming out on average, and there's probably gonna be more this year. So we kind of cover those topics as well as other things relevant to Google updates or things happening within Google. So last week we kind of had a quiet week in terms of updates, but we filled actually 70 minutes of time with resources around staying up to date on Google updates and all these other resources that you can get access to. So we're doing that, and then we've got a really cool episode coming up on Monday because we have one of the Google engineering leads who leads about 25 plus Google engineers, developers that released 3 of the features that came out this week around endpoint management, MDM, context-aware access. So he'll be joining us Monday, and then we're hoping to kind of get more Googlers on these podcasts as well in future episodes. And then, so that's workspacerecap.com. And then there's workspaceadmins.org. That is an initiative between myself and Dominic and Brian and also Kim Nilsson, who I don't think he's on today. I don't think he's actually joined any of these calls, but Kim's based out of Sweden, and he's pretty active in the Google education space out there. Yeah. And so we are running webinars kind of at least once a month. We've got one coming up on Tuesday with a Googler, Ravi Kumar, who's talking about reducing AD dependency using cloud identity features. And I've been kind of surprised about how many people have been signing up for that, because we have almost 500 people signed up for that session, like all these sessions, and it's been pretty crazy. We had 35 people sign up last week on Thursday. I don't know what happened. Like, I think everyone came back to school because it was all EDU domains that pretty much signed up, and we had an influx.
Somebody posted it on LinkedIn, probably.
Well, I've posted it all over the place, and I think probably everyone got back from school. They logged into their. I think they came from. Actually, I have a list of where you heard about it from, and most of it came from the Google Currents community for education.
Oh,
yeah, it's super active.
Marcus maybe posted it there.
No, I did. I
you
posted
did? Okay.
it. Yeah. It's been out there for a while, but I think it was because everyone came back from the holiday, and Thursday must have been when staff came back to work, but whatever. So that's what I'm doing a lot of these days. Yeah.
Excellent, great. It's been amazing to see the collaboration that's come out of the SaaSOps community, or the SaaSOps community in general, and all the additional, we've got the Better Cloud SaaSOps show, obviously we've got Solve, you've got the Work Admins podcast and your YouTube channel now. People have been hiring each other, and they've been collaborating together and creating entities and moving into North America. It's been incredibly powerful to see how this little community and the large community has been working together. So maybe if we put our minds to it, we can solve, world peace or something else more pressing.
Email
orchestrated by Mike.
Email attachments. Yeah, I was going to say the same.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe we should create a template for the custom compliance rule and sort of share it with everybody so they can easily block attachments on their own domain and do a bounce back with a message. All right, excellent. Any as we get 10 minutes before the top of the hour.
The forum on possible
We
suggestions.
haven't heard from Caleb or Priya or
Yeah.
Who else hasn't gone?
Go. Hello, everyone. My name is Priya. I'm a IT SaaSOps intern with Workiva. So I guess my resolution for this year is just to, as a new intern, to learn as many things about SaaSOps and just really pick up a lot of real world skills before I graduate from school. I'm currently a senior studying computer science at Arizona State University. So I'm trying to pick up as much, real world skills so that I can kind of graduate with some more, bridge. I'd be able to bridge the gap between kind of school and real world skills. And so that's kind of what my goal is for this year.
Well, you're in good hands over there.
Yes.
I went enrolled in school again. I never finished university, so I'm trying to go back to school right now myself. So that's cool.
Excellent. Bridge the gap between the theoretical and the practical. What's your favorite part of your computer science degree at the moment?
Right now, I mean, everything is online and virtual, but I think we've done a really good job of just, still being functional, and still keeping in touch with all of our assignments and school. There's not much of a gap between, transitioning pre-pandemic and into the pandemic. So it's been a really smooth process, and nothing's ever hindered our education and the quality of the education that we receive. So I'd say that's been the most rewarding thing from kind of
Is there a class you like the most?
Yeah, I'm a senior now, so I'm finally getting to more project-based group work and stuff like that. So finally getting to code with other people. So I'm really looking forward to see, how other people code. I've done a lot of, assignments where it's individual and super book heavy and concept based, but it's nice to kind of go and collaborate with other people and just get to talk to other engineers.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm sure it's like passing your driving test and then learning to drive.
Yeah.
You learn to pass the test and you learn how it is in the real world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. So Caleb, you're the last person to give a New Year's SaaSolution.
Okay. I didn't speak up earlier because my kids are going crazy outside my door here. So trying to be quieter and calmer, but I think they're on upstairs. I hear them yelling up there now.
Are you under siege?
He was upside down earlier, but now he's horizontal. This is really weird.
I'm on my iPhone. It must have been how I joined the first time. It must have captured my orientation, and now it won't change it. So I can go back to upside down just by changing
you look
the
normal
landscape on my phone. Oh, good.
It changed.
Caleb, you look great, man. You just keep doing you,
I will. So my SaaS solution is the only thing left we don't have in SaaS in my organization is telecoms to phones. We have a server in a server room that I'm hoping to eventually move to Google Voice. We were going to move earlier to Google Voice, but they didn't have some of the key features we needed. So now they have some more of the features, and I think I have one of the 3 that I need to on board to move to Google Voice, but that'll be the last thing to just get out. We're actually on a Allworks server that's no longer supported. We lost support for the hardware at the end of last year. It's just such an old server, but I'm in real estate law in a law firm, and they don't see the need. It's not broken. Why do we need to fix it? So that's one of my main goals, is to push them to really get a solution. I was pushing towards the pandemic, then we all went to work from home, so everyone was using their cell phones. So like, well, we really don't need a phone system. But now that they're back in the office. I'm now in Washington State, clear across the country from them. But that's kind of my goal.
Excellent, good goal. Specify everything. All right, we'll do some closing remarks as it's getting close to the end of the hour. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for joining our first episode 18. We can now vote. If there was, as this is episode 18, yes, we could now legally vote next election. Yes, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. We do have a Solve Tank, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. So it'd be good to get another vendor on and grill them, and then carry on with our bi-monthly discussions throughout the year. So thank you.